There you go.
All right, folks. This week, the largest gaming convention in the world opens up today.
Yeah.
Disney breaks more records, and superheroes say naughty things on TV. All this and more this week in Geek. Welcome to the Grizzled Geek podcast, episode 10.
10.
10.
That's it, yeah.
All right, double digits. Look at this. Of the new Grizzled Geek podcast.
Yeah.
The new and improved. I am Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here with your weekly wrap-up of nerd news, plus discussion and opinion. Plenty of both.
Lots of opinion.
Yeah, lots of opinion. That's, well, we're full of much. Just make sure everything is working right now before we...
Yeah, it looks like I can see us. See if I can hear us.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we're... All right, everything's working.
Oh, my goodness. It only took us 10 episodes to work out most of the technical issues and a brand new soundboard. But
Thank you, Kirsten.
yeah, thanks very much. But we have a lot to talk about today. Gen Con, the world's largest gaming convention, opens today in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm disappointed we're not there.
I know. This is like the first time. First time in a few years I haven't gone. Usually
It was so close, dude. We were so close to going, and then stupid Brits.
I'm telling you. But yeah, expecting over 65,000 attendees this year.
Oh, okay. Now maybe I'm not so upset that I'm not there. 65,000.
This thing, yeah, it is huge, and in fact, it's spilled over. It already spilled over into the surrounding hotels. It's at the convention center, which is huge. Right.
Yeah.
Then it's also in the convention centers of and lobbies of every hotel around that. I think there's like 6 that are around that area, that are right next door to it.
Yeah.
It's spilled over into the street between it and the next street over, right? And now it's taken over Lucas Oil Stadium, which is just around the corner from that. And this stadium, it used to have like just outside the stadium parts, kind of spilled over into that. Now it's taking up the whole stadium. Like on the field, there's stuff. Yeah.
Dang.
It is huge, folks. I mean, I'm trying to describe how big. I mean, not quite Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con huge, but for a gaming convention, this is...
Yeah, holy cow.
I mean, it probably feels that way, as crowded as it is. Probably feels as close that, you know...
I wonder, I've not actually seen numbers on Comic-Con, so I'm kind of curious as to what it is.
I think it's close to 100, but 65,000
that's pretty
in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. Now, we've gone over the years. Like I said, I was the first year. I haven't been in a while.
I've never been, actually.
You never been in Gen Con? Oh, wow. It's just me, because I worked for several gaming companies, so I've been there quite a bit, had a booth quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just playing. It is amazing. And just walking around getting to play all the cool new games that are coming out.
Right, yeah.
So we'll discuss some of the cool stuff. Now, they couldn't possibly have all the stuff that you could see there. I mean, this is where the game industry goes to display their new stuff, right?
Yeah, all their big announcements.
People save up their, the big releases for Gen Con, to show Gen Con. So we're just going to touch on some of the cool things that we're missing.
Yeah.
First off, one of the biggest miniature games out there that's not, Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
Is X-Wing, and Fantasy Flight is basically debuting the second edition. In fact, they're having a second edition tournament. The rules aren't out yet, but they're having a tournament with those rules.
Interesting. I think they've been transitioning to it for a while, because about 6 months ago, I want to say, they came, and it may be more longer that year, to 6 months, they came out with like these converters that you could put on the ships you already have on their bases to convert them to some new rule.
The new rule. Oh, okay.
So that you didn't have to buy all new ships. You just converted the base with these little things. So how that will impact this, or if that was related, I have no idea. I don't play X-Wing.
Right.
Although
now's the time to jump in second edition.
The miniatures are so cool.
Yeah.
So
way cool.
I mean,
See, we made a mistake, because when it came out, there was also a Star Trek version with the same rules, and we're like, ship combat makes more sense with Star Trek, right? So we bought into that.
except it's not.
And it's not
It's
as good.
fighter combat. It's not.
Yeah. It's fighter combat with starships, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Plus, the miniatures weren't nearly as detailed as the X-Wing ones.
Yeah.
So,
And I did get the base box set and a couple of extras for Armada, which is the capital ship version of X-Wing.
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated, so I didn't play it a lot. But it's got cool miniatures. So
the miniatures
that's
are
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, also, speaking of starship battles, Ares Games will be at Gen Con for the first time ever, which is odd. I thought Ares Games had been there before, but apparently not. They're debuting their Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles game.
It's interesting.
So, I mean, I don't know. Everyone's trying to jump on that X-Wing money.
I wonder if it's... Well, yeah. I mean... Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's based on the game. Because there is a... And I forget the name of the... There's an online game for Battlestar Galactica.
I know the miniatures and everything are based on the TV series, the
new one. Yeah, it's all on the reboot. Well, what I mean is, are there different? Is it going to be set in the second Cylon War or the first Cylon War?
Right.
Is it going to have all of? Because if it's in the first Cylon War, you have way more variation in ships you can have.
Right.
Then the Galactica. It's Jupiter class Battlestar is the top of the line.
Yeah, and you can have multiple of them instead of just the one lonely ship with fighters.
Yeah. But maybe it is. And here's the other thing you run into. If it is a fighter-based game, you've got 2 ships on one side and 2 ships on the other side, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of not that interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what it's like, because we're picturing X-Wing in our head. We'll see. It might be a totally different kind of a tactical map game, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, kind of excited. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll get some videos or some stuff of that. People have checked it out at Gen Con after.
Yeah.
All right. If you missed the Rick and Morty Pickle Rick game at San Diego Comic-Con, it was a limited run out there. You're in luck if you're going to Gen Con, because at the Cryptozoic booth, they're offering copies of the game, so you can buy.
Okay.
So they actually had they ran out at San Diego Comic-Con, from what I understand, and people were upset. But now they have more for Gen Con, the Pickle Rick board game. I don't know how you play that game, but it's got a giant Pickle Rick and little Rick and Morty figures. So that is cool in and of itself. If you're a Rick and Morty fan, that's probably a collector piece you want to have. At the Cool Mini or Not booth, you can meet the designers and artists for almost all their games. So they're having a big where they're signing copies of the games. And there's exclusive con editions of some of their best games, including Song of Ice and Fire miniature game, the Kick-Ass board game, Gizmos, Newton, Railroad Inc., and Zombicide Invader. So I don't know what the con exclusive variants of those are. Probably just box art, but
maybe, yeah.
But yeah, you get the cool special edition box art, and the artists are right there. Artists and designers right there to sign it for you.
Nice.
So then you can buy that $100 game and then put it up on your shelf and never play it.
Yeah. And then buy another.
And then buy another $100 copy of it to play. But yeah, so that's part of the fun of Gen Con, is going to all the booths and seeing all the creators. Not just find out the new stuff.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It is you buy a ton of shit there. I'm broke every time I come home. I'm like, I'll take the peanuts on the flight home. I'm out of money. But also, for our fans who like this, there is a huge Ruby presence at Gen Con, which I wasn't aware of. Probably being stuck in booths, I wasn't aware that these guys show up in force. But yeah, there's 6 Ruby RPG events going on from the Pythos RPG game.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware there was a Ruby RPG.
I don't know if Pythos is just a Ruby, or whether Ruby's like in that world or whatever. Whether Pythos is a system that Ruby uses, or whether it's actually just for Ruby.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have to check it out, though, because we like RPGs.
Yeah.
There's 4 combat-ready game tournaments going on. So that's the miniature, or the board game, the Ruby board game.
Yeah.
And then there is a huge contingent of Ruby cosplayers as well. So they show up in group. There were some really good ones last year. I was checking out pictures of. But yeah, so there's a big group of Ruby fans showing up at Gen Con, which, makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's a ton of cosplay at Gen Con.
Cosplay's
pretty much invaded
all conventions.
All conventions. Yeah.
If it's a geek convention of some sort, whether it's games, comics, whatever, movies, there's going to be cosplayers there.
Yeah.
So
cosplayers show up.
Cool. All right. Our second story is Disney keeps on breaking all the records. This one is crazy. In July, Disney broke the all-time yearly ticket sales record. So the record before was theoretically for 12 months of ticket sales.
They
broke
months.
it by the end of
July,
7 months. 7 months. They made $7.67 billion. And the crazy thing about that is that's not the record. The record will be tallied after Maleficent, Frozen 2, and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker come out.
Yeah.
So they're going to tack on at least $2 billion more on this. Yeah. Probably closer to $2.5 billion.
Yeah. So they beat the all-time record now, and they got 3 big ticket movies coming out.
I don't know how big Tiff and Maleficent will be.
It's a Disney live action. Yeah. And the first one made a ton of money.
Yeah.
Frozen 2 is going to be huge.
Yeah, Frozen 2 will be huge.
Yeah, and Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah. I mean, we'll see now the true test of whether
fans will come out for Rise of Skywalker. It's J.J. Abrams coming back.
Most will.
It's the end of the Skywalker.
As much as there are people
trilogy
out there
of trilogies
who grump and say I'm done, I hate Disney, Star Wars, blah blah blah. 90% of fans will be out for this.
Yeah,
and all of the casual people, who aren't necessarily uber fans, but they're like, oh, Star Wars,
Star Wars movie. I remember
check
that out.
Yeah. So this is going to be. This might be. I mean, very probably will be a $10 billion year for Disney.
Yeah,
$10 billion year.
That could hit that number and. And when is that going to be matched again? Because this was like the tsunami of. And you know what the crazy part is? Is that the $1 billion Spider-Man make isn't even counted in that, because Sony gets that money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, Sony only has 2 $1 billion movies on there, and one of them Marvel made. Disney made it.
That's funny.
So, they have what 5 of the 6 biggest films this year was Disney movies. That's what they said, and 3 of them over $1 billion movies.
Yeah. So you had Avengers Endgame,
Aladdin,
topped $1 billion. All right, and then you've
Captain
got
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention to where Lion King is, so I'm not sure where they're at.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to hit.
Hey, Gabrielle O'Reilly finally joined us.
Oh, nice. Welcome.
Very cool.
So Disney has all the money. And but
I'm cool with that.
Speaking of one of their $1 billion movies, one of their $2 billion movies, one of those $2.7 billion movies to be exact, Avengers is out on digital now and on Blu-ray Tuesday. So look forward to that. But it's not only the highest grossing movie of all time, which feels really good to say.
Yeah.
Finally, after that long race of will it, won't it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Finally, it's the highest grossing movie of all time. But it's also maybe the most anticipated movie to come out definitely was for digital.
Yeah.
Fandango Now reported it broke records as the highest pre-ordered title ever. And this is not for the hard copy. This is for
digital copy.
Digital copy.
Which they don't run out of.
Yeah. Like, why are you pre-ordering that?
Yeah, I'm like, you could just, the day it comes
People
out.
People are like,
go,
I don't want to miss it. I want to
it.
order it now. I don't want to miss it when it comes out for some reason.
Maybe they've got a way to set it. I don't do digital movies.
Yeah.
So there may be a way to have it.
We're old school. We got to have it in our hand. We got to feel the physical copy.
Yeah. There may be a way to just, have it auto download as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Pre-order it, pay for it, leave the server on, and as soon as it comes out, I don't know.
Now
that would be a cool feature if it.
True. For those of you who haven't got it yet, you can check out pretty much all the deleted scenes and some of the behind-the-scenes stuff is pretty much on YouTube now.
That's cool.
So yeah, you can check out that. Yeah, Disney is up in their game, making all that money. Yeah. But there's some really cool scenes. Like there's one where like at the end, I guess spoilers, I guess for the deleted scene. The scene is not in the movie. After Tony Stark does a snap or whatever.
Yeah.
Where like everybody like kneels, like the entire battlefield, pretty much does.
Oh.
So.
That's a cool.
It's a really cool, really cool moment that I'm like, I can understand. Movie's already over 3 hours.
Yeah. You
got to cut where you can. Wasn't necessary when they were especially doing the funeral scene afterwards, but
yeah, it
was an awesome scene. Which you get to see it on the DVD.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll have to pick that up Tuesday. Yeah, I do like to own. Yeah. Have physical copies of movies if it's one I really want.
Yeah.
And I have most of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I'd say 17.
There was a time I bought every Marvel movie that came out. This is before Marvel Studios even.
Yeah.
Right? Even I own Ang Lee's Hulk. I own the Fantastic Four movies. I own Rise of the Silver Surfer. Blu-ray. Why? With the Smoke Cloud Galactus. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I own that. I own
I am
Ben Affleck Daredevil.
I don't know if
I own that.
I'm proud to say I have not watched a Fantastic Four movie since the first one because I heard how awful they all are. Yes. So I'm like, never mind. I'm not. This just looks dumb.
I actually watched.
I'm not going to support
Fan Four Stick. I mean, I didn't pay for it, but I watched Fan Four Stick, and wow,
train wreck.
Glad Disney has it now.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of Disney.
Yeah, the D23 Expo is coming later this month, August 23rd through the 25th in Anaheim at the Convention Center.
Yep.
There'll be a lot going on there. They always have their animation studio panels. They have panels about the parks, and then there will be also information about Marvel, about Star Wars, and about Disney Plus. So there's promises that we'll see some Mandalorian and Marvel surprises. I would go out on a limb and figure we'll probably see like extended trailers of Mandalorian and maybe get Phase 5 setups.
Are we going to see Falcon in the Captain America costume?
Oh.
Remember, he said he had his fitting
maybe
at the Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's maybe. I hadn't heard that they were actually going to be, that the cast was going to be at D23, but yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
For at least some of them to come, the people who have the first shows coming out.
Yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier is the first one.
That's the first show, and then
it's the WandaVision.
Yeah,
because that leads into Doctor Strange too.
Yeah,
next
WandaVision
year.
comes before Loki. Yeah, so I bet it's only if we get stuff from the shows, it'll only be that one. Probably.
Yeah, because it doesn't start shooting until September.
Yeah, so. We're supposed to get never before seen content, surprise guests, performances, and reveals. Yeah, who knows what any of that could be.
That's pretty vague.
Yeah. There's going to be a Disney Plus pavilion on the Expo show floor. This will offer guest demonstrations of the live Disney Plus app across mobile devices and TV. Costumes and props from the Disney Plus originals.
Nice.
Will also be on display. Maybe the armor from the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Some of that kind of stuff. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then apparently there's going to be a special offer for Expo attendees and D23 members. I'm assuming gold members, but it doesn't say that.
This has got Doug contemplating a gold member ticket.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be a D23 member. I've just not ever had the opportunity to do it. It is $100 a year. But there's going to be an early access to Disney Plus special offer.
Yeah.
Exclusive to Expo attendees.
Get the beta version of the app before everything,
Possibly, yeah. Which, I mean, it's not going to have any of the new shows. It's not going to have any of that kind. So it's just going to be content you could already get some other way.
But you're getting on the Disney app, and you get to feel superior to everybody who doesn't have access to the Disney Plus, and that's worth $100. I mean, when it gets right down to it, right? I mean,
probably. It'd be pretty good.
Pretty good.
But yeah, we'll also probably get a lot of info on the Marvel Land in the Disney parks at the parks panel. So that'll be interesting. I'm pretty excited about that too.
Yeah. So there's tons of cool stuff. D23 is one of those shows that I've always wanted to go to, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to it now, probably more than San Diego Comic-Con now.
It's more manageable.
Where, yeah, you can actually,
Way more manageable. Yeah.
walk around and see stuff. Mm-hmm. Not like be cattle carded through the line to...
Yeah, and you're right across the street from Disneyland. So
and that's true.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump over to the park real quick.
Of course, you're gonna go to Disneyland if you're there. Yeah. Buy a $300 lightsaber.
Yeah.
Which is a must. I mean, just to be honest with you, if you're going to Disneyland, you got to buy that lightsaber.
Yes, I've determined I'm not going to Disneyland. I might go to California Adventure, but I'm not going to Disneyland until I can afford to buy the lightsaber.
Because that's part of the package.
If I went and couldn't, I would just be disappointed.
Yeah, you'd be just like, oh man, watch all the smiling people coming out of there with their lightsabers.
Although they've clamped down on finding the black crystals.
Oh, they stopped the people to.
They don't just hand you a tray. You got to say, okay, I want to make red, and then they give you 3 crystals, and then you can search those. And if it is there, it is. If it's not,
what about the ones that you can buy later on in the shelf? Because that's where they were trying to light through them.
I think that's
apparently because that's where they found the one person, the one YouTuber. Yeah. Basically, if you're trying to flashlight through the red crystals and
that's what I think
the light doesn't come through, it's one of the
none
rare
of the
black
crystals
ones.
None of the crystals are out.
Yeah,
you have to ask for them, and then they restrict how many you can.
Yeah, because one guy got 3 in a day. Yeah, he's like, oh, look, got one of the ultra rare black crystals.
Yeah. Anyways, there you go.
Yeah, I agree. Lightsabers are a must.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, who doesn't? I mean, that's half the. We're doing a Star Wars land. We're like, okay, they got to incorporate lightsabers in there somehow.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're talking about the lightsabers in Balboa Park, like at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, they're actually.
Apparently, they had a huge turnout there where they took up more of the park than what they originally allotted. Yeah, because they contract for part of the park. Right, they were doing like the live demonstrations of professional guys doing it, and then they had some kind of tournaments with lightsabers. So apparently, there's so many people showed up. They would kind of
go Luke on Vader.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, so let's talk about mature comic book movies on TV or shows on TV. So apparently it seems to be all the rage now.
Yeah.
Amazon just premiered The Boys last week on my birthday, which I actually got to watch. There's 8 episodes.
Right.
I thought it was surprisingly good. I thought it was a lot better than I expected it to be. Now, I've read the graphic novel for The Boys, which I thought might have been probably a little too gratuitous at points in the graphic novel. Yeah. Shocking for shock's sake, which is odd because I like Preacher.
Yeah.
But, of course, then again, I was a teenager when Preacher came out back in the day.
Yeah.
Or young adult.
In college, yeah.
College, so, probably a little less mature. But
yeah,
I like the changes they made. I like that they kept. I like they have Simon Pegg as Huey's dad in the series because Simon Pegg was the model for Huey in the comics. They drew him to look like Simon Pegg.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, if they ever make this movie, Simon Pegg is Huey, but he's too old to play him now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So now because Huey's dad is not really in the graphic novel. But they threw him in the series just so Simon Pegg could play him.
That's funny.
So they could have that connection there to the character.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when the Ultimates made Nick Fury Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, they drew him like Samuel Jackson. So, yeah. So, but yeah, it's a really good series. But it got me thinking about all the different. I mean, that's pretty much where if we're getting. I guess we're to start with like the Netflix shows. Kind of got
Yeah,
they took a grittier.
They're
more mature approach.
but they are not. Well, Jessica Jones is probably the only one that I would say you probably need to be at least in high school to see.
Yeah.
Younger than that, the themes might be a little too mature. Right. The other ones, I don't think so.
Just violence.
They're violent, but
it's just weird how in the U.S. here we're okay with violence. It's nudity. We're like, oh no. Yeah, and then like in Europe, it's the opposite. They're like, yeah, show all the nudity you want. That's natural, but violence can't have that.
Yeah.
Well, The Boys has both. Just a fair warning. quite a bit. Preacher. Now, I got to be honest with you. I haven't watched the last season of Preacher.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 seasons like pretty regularly, right? When it came out. I was a big Preacher fan, like I said, when I was younger. And it's not that it show's bad. It just kind of like it kind of drug a little bit because the whole first season was a prequel to the graphic novel. The first.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of drug, and then when we finally started getting into the things in the second season, it was kind of, I don't know. I like the cast. I like the show. I just haven't caught up with it. Umbrella Academy is another one. It's not exactly. It's on Netflix. It's not as gratuitous as like The Boys,
right?
You know, but it is mature themes, and I really enjoyed Umbrella Academy, and this is one of the ones that I've not, you know, I did not read the comic beforehand. In fact, but the series made me go check out the comic. You know.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty good. That's right. Gabrielle, is it? It's America. It's America. But yeah, Umbrella Academy, again, really good show. And then it brings us to Disney Universe, the streaming service.
You mean DC Universe?
DC Universe, not Disney. Why keep trying to mix those two up? It's the D's. Yeah, DC Universe. Not the DCFU, but the DC Universe streaming service.
Yeah.
Where it took shows, all of them are mature shows.
Yeah.
I mean, he took like a hard, mature approach to those shows. Like Titans, which is odd because Titans, I mean, they've been around the comics for a while. And they had some mature stories in the comics. But the majority of people who know Titans know them from the Teen Titans cartoon.
Right.
Right? So you have all these, I mean, granted, it was a few years ago. They're grown up now, I guess. So I guess what they're figuring. But that was pretty, not what I expected.
Yeah.
And again, I have my issues with Titans anyway. Not that I liked everybody outside of the Titans themselves, you know. And
well, because they don't lean into them.
No. Then just the characters are just wrong. That's right. But yeah, I mean, Titans I was kind of about. I liked all the other side characters. I'm actually interested in season 2 because of the side characters, and they're adding more of them.
And Batman.
I
don't know how much he's going to be on screen. It may just
probably
be kind of
in the background, a few episodes.
Responding to things.
But they're going to have Superboy, they're going to have Crypto, they're going to have Aqualad, you know. So interested in all those. The one they're not going to have is the one people are wondering why is he not in there is Cyborg. And that's because they have him on Doom Patrol for some reason. Because I guess they figured they needed Doom Patrol is so obscure, they need someone recognizable in Doom Patrol. That's probably why. But they did an awesome job in Cyborg, and Doom Patrol is an awesome series. It's weird. It's like one of those. They did not pull back on the weirdness with that one. They went full on weirdness from the comics. If you're familiar with Doom Patrol, you'll like the series. It's crazy. And Swamp Thing, which I'm in right now. It's only one more episode. Swamp Thing is one of those. It's a really good story. It's really dark. It's kind of like this horror, horror comic book series. But I have a feeling that it's going to suck the fact that they cut off the last 3 episodes the way they did.
Yeah.
Where there's so many storylines going on. Like they full on have the Blue Devil in the series. I thought there was a nod to him of the actor who played him, right? He's like, I played the Blue Devil in this series, right? They kind of mention him in one of the episodes, and I'm like, okay, they give a nod to the Blue Devil. He's a goofy character, but no, he's actually in it, and the demon, and the whole bit. And I was like, oh man, they're going full out crazy with this, and it's very.
Wait, did Etrigan's in it, or
yeah?
Oh wow, so the guy who speaks in rhymes, or
oh no, the demon that possesses the Blue Devil that gives him his powers.
Oh, okay, got it.
So so that storyline. Here's the problem: is because they cut off the last 3 episodes, we're missing 3 hours of this series. A full length, endgame length movie worth of material we're not getting.
Yep.
All of a sudden, and they rewrote episode 10 to end the series, and they canceled it, so there's not going to be another series of this. So it's I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of storylines dropped for that series, and it sucks because it's a great one. But I mean, have you seen any of these mature shows?
No.
You've not watched any of them?
I've seen previews for most of them, but I haven't watched any of them.
Is there any of them that you might be interested in watching?
Yeah. I mean, like the Umbrella Academy looked like an intriguing premise.
It's pretty good.
It's just.
But it's a Netflix series, so it's long.
Yeah.
Unlike where like The Boys is 8 episodes, which I feel is about the right length for, the season.
I mean, that's fine. I have so little time to watch TV that I just generally don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I haven't watched. I've been rewatching Stargate SG-1, but I've been watching that on my phone, like at lunch or whatever. You know, I haven't been watching. At home, I don't tend to watch TV. So, yeah, there's some of these that look cool, especially we're getting to the next one.
Yeah.
The preview looks amazing. I just, we'll see if I have the time or the ability to watch it.
Yeah. The next one we have on the list is Watchmen, which is going to be an HBO series.
Yeah, there's a reason I won't watch it, because I'm not going to buy HBO.
You're not even HBO now? You get like $30, you get like over a month? Or I bought it for the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And, I think I might buy it for Watchmen, just for like, you can buy those prepaid cards for it, and just have it for so many days or whatever. But, Watchmen looks really good.
Especially since I'm probably going to have to shell out for CBS All Access so I can watch Picard.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Gabrielle Riley says, you haven't seen a long series until you watch all of Naruto. Kirsten will agree. When she's huge Naruto fan, so she was like at one point trying to, we were doing like the Grizzled Weeb, trying to get us to watch it, and we're like, they started telling us how long it is, and we're like, no, I don't have that kind of, I don't want to invest that kind of time in a series.
I ran out of time watching. I tried watching after we watched
Death Note. Or?
Death Note. Yeah, I tried watching the series, and I think I maybe got halfway through it, and it's just like, man, this keeps going forever and ever. I just don't have time to do this, so I left off for a while. It was good. It's probably the best of the anime we watched. It was the one that I was like, I'm most interested in the story. I want to keep going.
Right.
So
if you want to kill your interest in Death Note, you watch the live action American version.
No.
But yeah, Watchmen. I'm excited for it. I wasn't really. I'm like, what are they going to do with this? Because it's got the aesthetics of the movie, but it's following a story of the graphic novel.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the weird kind of mix between the two. But I don't know.
Are they? They're not gonna. This is a stupid question. Like, are they ballsy enough to do the whole pirate story?
Probably not.
I honestly think he was on drugs at that moment and just started writing a pirate story, and just it was in the same area, had nothing to do with anything, and they're like, how do we tie this in? What is going on here? Oh. And he's like, oh, there's just this kid reading this pirate story.
Yeah.
And then just went with it, and he had no idea what it meant.
And now everybody finds meaning in it. Like, this alludes to this. And
it doesn't mean crap.
It's like when you're running a role-playing game and you put out some kind of prophecy and the players make it come true by, this means this here. And you're like, yeah, sure it does. Yeah.
Yep.
Exact kind of thing. Alan Moore on drugs, that's crazy, Doug.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
No, I mean, at the moment he was writing it and didn't realize he was putting it in Watchmen.
It is kind of like an off.
It's total nonsense.
They didn't animate it for the DVD of the movie. Yeah. They did an animated version of the
pirate story.
Pirate story, yeah.
I just skip that now when I read it. It's just
it's
so nonsensical, and people who try and tie it to the story, it doesn't mean crap.
It has no meaning.
There's no meaning in it.
Well, what do you think about this? Do you think they should be kind of, I don't know, if they've played out the mature superhero TV series?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that's where they're going now, because that's what's popular, I guess. Yeah. Are we seeing are the non-mature ones dead now at this point? Well, CW seems to be doing really well.
No, I don't think so.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, have you heard what they're doing with the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover this year?
No, I have not.
Oh, my goodness. They've come out with all kinds of... I got to get caught up on my CW shows. I haven't watched CW in a while.
I'm pretty behind on CW.
Like, Brandon Routh, who plays Palmer, the Atom.
Yeah, he's the Atom. He's coming back as Superman.
He's coming back as Superman in an alternate version because he played Superman in a movie. So he's going to be Superman. They're bringing back Linda Carter as Wonder Woman.
Oh, God. gosh!
I mean, yeah, it's like
That's awesome.
Burt Ward is coming.
What?
I don't know if he's going to be Robin or not, but I'm like, old man Robin.
That's hilarious.
But you're bringing all these classic, superhero characters from these series.
All right, that's
I'm sure
cool.
we're going to see John Wesley Shipp as the Flash in there, because he's done that. He's Jay Garrick in that.
He's Jay Garrick, yeah. So.
But yeah, so it looks like a crazy crossover this year. Yeah. So this is definitely one of those. I mean, they set it up last year's crossover, and this is going to be the end of the Arrow too. So the Arrow's ending at this crossover,
which is, it's time. He's run his course.
Yeah.
And I love the Arrow. Don't get me wrong. I love that show. It was so good, but there was after the Deathstroke story ended. It started going downhill.
There's definitely a bloat in the middle of that series before it started getting good again.
Yeah,
and the starting good again is when all the other series started coming out. When Flash hit big, and then Supergirl and everything else. But yeah, I'm excited about that. So I guess they have the mature stuff, and then they have the lighthearted stuff as well.
And I like I love that they essentially subbed in the Flash for Green Lantern to have the same relationship with the Green Arrow and the Flash have that relationship.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I like seeing that.
And you can't imagine like a dark, mature Flash series that's not that character. That character is not dark.
No, yeah. And that's the problem with he's more now than he has been, but even Batman isn't that dark.
Yeah.
Except for a few stories here and there. It's dark-ish, but it's not like...
Not every Batman story needs to be the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I mean,
right,
that was a cool story, but that was, an extreme version of Batman.
Yes. Yeah.
So
one could almost say satirical version.
Right. And a quick side note here: when Amel's done with Arrow, is he going to be a wrestler? Is he going into wrestling after that? What's your opinion on that? As a resident wrestling expert,
I haven't heard of. I haven't heard him. He does stuff every once in a while.
Yeah.
He gets involved in events, so gets in like battle royals and stuff like that. I haven't heard that he's training because he's a little old to get into wrestling now.
Yeah.
Other than as a
there's
special attraction.
Old wrestlers out there.
Yeah, but they've been doing it forever.
Yeah, it's true.
I could see him continuing to be a special attraction because he's friends with Cody.
Yeah.
And Cody and the Young Bucks started the new AEW company, so I'm sure he'll make appearances for AEW.
Yeah.
But whether he's like going to be like a full-time performer, I doubt it.
So Gabriel O'Reilly wants to know if running Naruto style makes you run faster, what happens when the Flash runs Naruto style? You know what that is, with their head down and their arms are back?
Like
how they're going to storm Area 51 without getting caught? Yeah. They're all going to do the Naruto run.
Did you see Because Science with Kyle going on debunking aliens? It's like why there's no aliens in Area 51.
Yeah.
He makes some great points.
But yeah. It makes you wonder though, Naruto.
No, it doesn't make me
wonder. No, it
because Naruto style running doesn't make you run faster.
I'm sure it does. You're more aerodynamic.
It just makes you look kind of dumb.
Not unless you have the metal headband, then you're okay. Then you look fine. But if you don't and you run that way, then yeah, you got some issues. But all right. So let's move on from the superhero TV shows.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our smaller stories, our geek bites, our nerd nuggets, if you will,
Stop.
Doug. No, loves this section, nerd nuggets.
I like this section fine. We just need a better title for it.
I keep forgetting to put the nerd nugget bag up the graphic on here. All right, well, all right. So there's a lot of Marvel rumors going out there right now about Phase 4 and Phase 5 and all this stuff like that. So these next two rumors, take with a grain of salt. They are rumors. But the person who these rumors came from also accurately predicted Taskmaster as a bad guy for Black Widow, and that it was I forget what that was, the other one, but he's been right on so far. So he's like, I think we might have an insider here getting this information. So the rumor is that Marvel has plans for debuting Galactus and Silver Surfer bad guy Tyrant soon in Phase 4 probably. And if they is in Phase 4, Eternals is the only movie it makes sense in.
Well,
I mean, Galactus and Eternals would make perfect sense.
who is Tyrant?
Tyrant is the he's got a bald with like a stone beard and a big axe. He was one of the Heralds of Galactus.
Isn't that Terrax?
And that's Terrax, right? So Tyrant is I don't know who Tyrant is.
Yeah, I'm all like
He's like a nobody Silver Surfer bad guy who was.
Yeah, that's all. I'm like, why would you debut this guy? What are you?
I don't know.
Here? Let's try and look it up.
He's gonna look up the Tyrant.
Yeah. Silver Surfer Tyrant. All right.
We need to give him a Leaf Village headband and a Flash. Gonna update his costume.
I think it. I mean, whether it's possible or not, I guess it is. It just I think it's too soon.
I think he's Galactus and Eternals. It would be too soon because it's been the past, right?
Oh,
so if they show, it's just a scene.
That's right. He's a stupid '90s bad guy who he looks
like a '90s bad guy.
He looks like a '90s bad guy.
Just pick up any issue of any comic in the '90s, and he just looks like that bad guy.
Why? Of all of the great bad guys you could pull in.
They probably didn't want to use one too great, especially if he's like a cameo in Eternals.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe it's a throwaway. Maybe he's going to die in the past or something.
Yeah, it's like his old Herald, because his original Herald or something like that,
Yeah, maybe.
At the time, he's got to have a Herald. So maybe they didn't want to use someone good, right? So they're like, I want to save that for Silver Surfer movie.
Yeah, except for Silver Surfer is the first Herald.
Is he the first Herald?
He's the first guy who makes a bargain with Galactus. True. And if you give him a Herald beforehand, that kind of weakens that story.
That's true.
I hope they. I don't mind hinting at Galactus. Maybe even showing, what's his? Oa?
Oa? Yeah, the Watcher?
No,
Uatu's Watcher.
No, his round ship, his world ship or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Maybe show that. Maybe show a dead world with the remnants of one of his machines.
Right.
Or something like that. Hint at him, but don't show Galactus until
a Fantastic Four movie. Yeah. I kind of agree.
If you're gonna,
although ever since I got all jazzed up to see Galactus back in the '90s or early aughts, and we ended up with a big smoke cloud. I'm like, I want to see Galactus. Yeah. I want to see big goofy purple helmet Galactus.
I want to see him done right.
Yeah.
And I don't think you put Galactus in a movie where he's not the Thanos level threat you've been building to over multiple movies.
Right.
He's
if you're going to step it up from Thanos, that is a big step.
Yeah.
That's a big next step to go to Galactus. Mm-hmm. But there also is another. I know this is probably more your favorite story here. There's another Marvel rumor, is that who the Black Panther 2 bad guy is.
I hope it's wrong.
And that is, the other rumor from the same source, is that Namor is in fact going to be the bad guy. Someone trying to take over Wakanda. There's
a comic book reason to do that, except for there's a lack of the history to make it viable.
Because aren't they both on the Illuminati?
They're both Illuminati, and there was essentially Doctor Doom tricked them into fighting each other. Basically pointed.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, pointed the
intro to Doctor Doom.
I forget exactly how.
Really, Namor doesn't really need a good reason to wage war. He's just an angry person.
Man, he's dumb. He's easily manipulated into doing stupid stuff. So I guess you could have that.
Just want to see him fight the Hulk. Because back in the day, I had the, issue where they fought, back when comic book heroes just fought each other for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. So we'll see. A grain of salt with that one. Obviously, there's a throwaway line in Endgame about there being an underwater earthquake near Wakanda.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. But yeah, those are rumors. Not sure if any of it's true, although they come from a reputable source.
Yeah. I'm going to go on record here and say Aquaman is a cooler character than
Jason Momoa. Aquaman's a cooler character than Namor.
Aquaman in general.
I mean,
in all iterations.
Peter David's Aquaman's a better Aquaman.
than...
I don't know about Super Friends Aquaman. I'm not going to go that far.
Yep, he's better than Namor. Namor is literally the bottom of any list of heroes. I mean, Squirrel... Oh, okay, never mind. Squirrel Girl's right below him.
Super Friends Aquaman was pretty lame.
He was, but
like the Wonder Twin who turned into a bucket of water was cooler than Aquaman.
That is how much I despise Namor. I cannot stand him. I do not want to see him. And I don't understand people who think he's a cool character.
Well, then why don't you tell us our next story about a better hero that you like better?
Tom Hardy? He is pretty awesome.
Tom Hardy is pretty cool.
No, but even cooler, Andy Serkis might direct the sequel to Venom. I like Andy Serkis.
Right.
I don't know if he has any directing under his belt yet.
Yeah, he's directed. I forget. He has directed something.
So,
but I mean, it's.
I'd like if he's directing the sequel, I want that to be because he's also going to mocap something. The bad guy for it.
Here's the thing.
Not that I'm going to watch it, so it doesn't matter.
Here's the thing. I don't want. Venom movie wasn't bad. It wasn't a train wreck that we thought it was.
It was not a train wreck. It wasn't a great story, but it had some cool visuals.
Yeah. And I like the character Venom. Here's the thing. I don't want Sony to be successful with this non-Spider-Man Spider-Verse because that's just going to embolden them to take back Spider-Man when the Marvel deal's done.
And then ruin it.
And then ruin it like they've done multiple times.
I agree. Yeah.
But Andy Serkis is, I mean, that's cool. And
I like Tom Hardy. And
I like him as Venom. I wish it was in a Marvel movie with, Tom Holland.
Yep.
All right.
So I wish they'd gone with a different Venom. Like J. Jonah Jameson's son.
Oh.
The astronaut who gets Venom for a while. And that would have worked better in this too. They had this, the space station crash thing. That would have been interesting. But anyways.
All right. Moving on. Ryan Reynolds, who pretty much has almost confirmed that he's the one who leaked we all know he leaked the Deadpool footage that got the Deadpool movie made. Everyone's wondering when is Deadpool coming back, right? And Kevin Feige said that he is, teased that he's coming out when the X-Men come out. He's like, well, we said X-Men are coming in Phase 5, and I consider him an X-Men. Blah, blah. So he kind of sidestepped the question a little bit there. But, but we know Bob Iger is super excited to get Deadpool money. I mean, not that, because they need it. Disney's hurting. They need that Deadpool money. But here's the thing. As soon as the deal was done with Fox, Deadpool was on their main website. I mean, on the main webpage for Disney. Their corporate page, Deadpool. Boom, right there. Bart Simpson, Deadpool. Just got added to the list right immediately. So, we knew there was going to be Deadpool. Deadpool was coming. I'm keep kicking the mic. Sorry, guys. But yeah, he put out a wall. He's basically teasing that he's going to be in Phase 5. All but confirming it. Another little tease of his. He just likes giving away information. On his wall, his conspiracy wall of when Deadpool's going to show up, it's got in the corner, it's got like 70. He's 70% sure Ryan Reynolds leaked the Deadpool footage that got the movie made. Ryan Reynolds is 70% sure he did it.
I love the little vignette they did with them all hanging out in the kitchen and him, Velcroing on labels on the food and stuff. However, that lends a question: are you going to keep Deadpool outside of the main MCU to keep that cast because that's not going to be the X-Men?
No.
When the X-Men get launched.
Of course, they could do a whole reboot with Deadpool. Keep Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and just have him comment on it. Like, wait, why do you look different?
Sure.
And Deadpool's crazy. He could see a different Colossus. He could see different X-Men characters, right?
That would be pretty good, actually.
So I mean, with Deadpool, it's pretty easy to do. Fit Deadpool in there.
Right, true enough.
I think that Colossus and that Juggernaut should fit in the Marvel Universe
And
because
I mean, I like
they're perfect.
I like Teenage Negasonic Warhead.
Yeah.
I just don't see her as
Them keeping them separate from that. I mean, other than that brief little teaser, cameo of them in the behind the door.
Oh,
They
right.
kept them pretty separate from that.
That's true. Yeah.
From them, so they could totally have a new X-Men and have them use them. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see.
All right, what we got?
All right, New Gods director Ava DuVernay confirms DuVernay.
I think. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, confirms Darkseid and the Furies
Yep.
in this.
Of course, you kind of like have expected that.
Yeah.
The big question was whether Darkseid was going to be in it. It's New Gods, so you figured Darkseid would be in it, but
Right.
they're also the DCFU is kind of funny about keeping him in their pocket for some reason for when
If you're gonna
when they're
this is where you bring him out because that's
Yeah.
the only thing gonna pull people to New Gods.
yeah.
If you're not a huge comic geek who's into the
New Gods and Eternals are pretty much the same thing. Jack Kirby, there's different company versions of the pretty much same characters. The difference is Eternals is done by Marvel Comics or Marvel Studios, and Marvel Studios people will go see.
right.
They'll give them a chance. Guardians of the Galaxy won them a lot of cred. They're like, all right, I don't know who these people are, but I'm going to go check this out. New Gods, no one knows who they are either, and it's DCFU, right? Where like, wow, are we going to get a Wonder Woman or are we going to get a Justice League out of that?
Here's the thing is, I'm not... The only thing I would be interested in a New Gods movie for is for it to set up the deal that has Darkseid give... What's the new father or whatever what is his name?
Oh,
The leader of the New Gods.
I don't know.
I can't remember his name.
Orion's not the leader.
No, Orion is Darkseid's son that he
Yeah.
gives to
He's the Icarus
new
of the
father
DC.
or whatever. And then Mr. Miracle
Yeah.
is Allfather or whatever I can't
remember his name is. Yeah,
he gives him to Darkseid, and then you introduce Big Barda and Granny Goodness, and
I want to see Granny Goodness live action.
those are the
That's
only.
just- This is such a crazy thing to see. I want to see it just for the spectacle of it, just to see this in live action. The New Gods in live action? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I
Those
mean,
are some crazy characters.
yeah, and that the thing is, they're crazy, like over the top characters who really are. And I haven't read the New Gods a ton, especially not the original stuff. But as far as I can tell, at least for like a modern audience, they're just a backdrop for Mr. Miracle.
Yeah. He's the only one that kind of broke out on his own.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're.
And Orion, I mean,
Because and Orion just kind of guest stars around the place. He's just a, you need a big beefy character to go up against somebody, then you've got Orion. But yeah. So, anyways, I mean, I'm curious.
Right.
I will see it, but I'm not like super excited because I was never a giant New Gods fan.
right. Well, this other one's not really news. Well, it's kind of cool. Jamie Alexander, Lady Sif from the Thor movies, who hasn't been seen since Thor: Dark World and a cameo in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Everyone's wondering where she's been. Has come out and volunteered to be Valkyrie's queen. Now, if you watch the San Diego Comic-Con, Tessa Thompson came out and said, she's queen of Asgard now, and she's looking for her queen.
She's king of Asgard.
King of Asgard, she's looking for her queen.
Yeah.
So Jamie Alexander stepped up, Lady Sif and Valkyrie. That is like, I don't know. I think I had that dream when I was younger, reading comics. I'm all for it. I like Jamie Alexander. I like her as Lady Sif, and I missed her in Ragnarok and Avengers Endgame, and I wanted,
Yeah, I wish she'd come back in, especially since they made a point of saying that she survived the snap.
Yeah.
That she survived the fall of Asgard, and maybe not the snap. That she survived the fall of Asgard.
She should have been leading what's left of the troops or the Asgardian troops.
They basically leaned into Tessa Thompson and Valkyrie, which I mean, okay.
Yeah.
But I thought she was good as Lady Sif. So
yeah.
All right. Marvel's What If first season will focus on the first 23 movies with one twist.
So basically, like, the first one is basically the first Avenger movie, only if Peggy Carter got the serum instead of Steve. Right?
Okay.
So basically, what they're looking at, the first season is going to take movies.
Then she'll be Captain Britain.
Yeah. Captain Britain. True. Captain Britain. We'll take the movies that we've already seen, the first 23 movies.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them, but those are what they're going to go by.
Yeah.
And basically twist one thing in it to make it a what if.
Right, yeah.
So those of you that were, we speculated about the Marvel Zombies and all this other stuff, famous what if stories.
Season 1.
Yeah. Not necessarily. Season 1 is going to be basically what we're familiar with, only twisted around.
Right.
So I'm excited for what if. It's one of the series I'm super
What
excited
if Frank
about.
Castle became Iron Man?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. What am I kidding? I'm going to watch all these shows. Doesn't matter.
Yep,
It's
yep.
Disney. They get my money. We're talking about not having time to watch TV.
I will make time when these series start coming out. Because
Yeah.
all right.
All right. And now for the last story of the day. Something kind of crazy. Something we were talking about on our gaming channel if we, had videos put on that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But apparently there's going to be a Warhammer 40K live action TV series. Now, for those of you who don't know what Warhammer 40K is, it's a tabletop miniature game. It's toy soldiers for adults.
Yeah. But it's been around for 40 years. It has built up a ton of lore.
When I say it's a tabletop miniature game, it is the tabletop miniature game, especially 40K.
Essentially, take all tabletop miniature games you are aware of, sans 40K, and they might equal 40K.
Well, they say back when I worked for Games Workshop, they said 80 cents of every dollar spent on miniatures was spent on Warhammer miniatures. Yeah. So that's how much of the market they have. And then back in the day, also, this would never have happened because they didn't share out their IP. There was like, we're not going to give our IP out. So with the big strong thing, that was a big philosophy as a company. That's why we never had like cartoons or books or comics. We had books, but they were very controlled in their own.
Well, they're written by their own.
They're owned by their own guys.
Black Library.
Yeah. They were very, very controlling. But now we've seen in the last few years they've sprung out.
There's Funko Pops. There's a cartoon series. There are kids books.
Kids books
in the 40K universe.
If you know anything about the 40K universe, you know how that's completely wrong.
It's crazy.
That's like the Toxic Avenger cartoon back in the 80s, based on that movie. You're like, what?
And the show is featuring a super sweet character, Inquisitor Eisenhorn.
Inquisitor Eisenhorn. Now, Inquisitor Eisenhorn was a character created by Dan Abnett, one of their great writers. Yeah. And Dan Abnett, just to send some props out to give you what kind of credit this guy has, he's a big comic book writer as well. And in fact, he's the creator of the Guardians of the Galaxy that you know from this TV series. So that run of Guardians of the Galaxy from the movie, yeah. So those versions of those characters, Dan Abnett created. So he didn't create the characters, but those stories of
right. He put that team together.
That was his run on the comics, and the Eisenhorn books are awesome.
Now I'm curious, have we seen anything about is he involved in production of the show?
Dan Abnett, I don't know if he's working with the creator. The showrunner is the guy who did the Man in the High Castle series, which really got a lot of acclaim for that series as well. So they've got talent on this show. I'm curious. I don't want to see the 40K world in live action. That's just crazy.
Yeah. I've always wanted to role play in the 40K universe too, because it's crazy. It is a crazy universe.
Yeah, but you want to start off as a guardsman. You're like, you're fodder is basically what you are. But
no, I like the idea that you work for the Inquisition. You start off as an acolyte for an Inquisitor, and you try and work your way up. But whatever. Yeah. But I think this could be super cool.
Crazy. That's probably one of the craziest things out of, I'm like, even crazier than like New Gods or Eternals. I'm like, a 40K live action series.
Now, where is it going to be? Do we know?
It's not. It doesn't have a home yet.
Doesn't have a home. Okay.
Yeah, but with this kind of talent behind it and this kind of name brand recognition behind it, they can shop this thing around. Yeah. It can end up on Netflix or Hulu or anywhere. So
cool.
But there you have it, folks. The rundown of your nerd news and our opinions, mostly our opinions, and a little bit of news sprinkled in. What the show is. Gabriel O'Reilly, thank you very much for keeping us company and entertaining us in the chat. We really appreciate it, and thank you for showing up. But yeah, there you have it. Anything stick out in your head? Anything last minute comments? Any stories?
I think I threw them in where they were appropriate. Yes.
You know how Doug stands.
Yeah.
No Namor.
No. Yeah. Boycott Namor.
Venom before Namor. That's how bad that is. I tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want the Sony Venom.
Yeah.
But
yes,
I would rather have Venom in the MCU than Namor in the MCU. Let's put that.
Wow. Yeah. All right, folks. There you have it. Nerd News. Thank you very much for supporting us here on the Grizzled Geek podcast. We really appreciate it. If you want to continue to support us, you can do that by a number of ways, by liking, subscribing, telling your friends about us. Really appreciate it. Get the word out there. Let people know that we're around. That, if you find us amusing, like we find ourselves amusing, then let them know. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do this in a number of ways. Shop at Amazon. Doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
We get a kickback. Use our link down below. Buy our T-shirts, like
this one.
this
Sweet,
one.
yeah.
I need a new one. I got to buy some T-shirts.
I got to find mine. And then check us out on Patreon.
And Patreon, yeah. I have a link down for that. So thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate it. And as always, Andy Warpigs, our local folk punk hero, is going to play us out. Once again, assumes I can cue this up here. I know how to work the equipment. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.